and welcome back to another Museum of Moggy video. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. It has been a very long time, hasn't it? I think it's several years, I think, actually.
I think so, yeah.
I thought, you know what? I think it's time we took another trip down memory lane and look at some awesome old miniatures, rare old miniatures from good old where are you? There you go. Good old Moggy's collection here, because he's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, stuff. Yes, lots.
And you've just had a clear out, haven't you? So you've just unearthed a load of new, well, not new, old miniatures that you've forgotten about.
I moved them from one place to another place, but yeah.
So if you're new to these videos, every now and again I get together with Moggy and we look at some really old, rare stuff, because his collection is vast, absolutely vast, and it's just nice to look at some of the old stuff and see how some of the stuff's progressed. And yeah, the rarity is also pretty cool as well, because there's some stuff, again, that I've never seen before, some stuff I didn't know existed, some stuff I knew existed but I've never actually seen in the flesh. So without further ado, we're going to get on and we're going to look at some old models. So join us in a second. Right guys, so we have got some stuff that we're going to look at now. I've got this lovely backdrop with this lovely lighting, this delicious camera angle provided by Moggy. This is nice. This is premium. This I like it a lot. I might have to do something like this when I film. Although I do quite like the messy background that I have in my my normal videos. But anyway, I'm rambling. So let's bring on the first thing. The first thing we're going to look at is something that I found quite funny, really. And it's something that's quite old, and I'm going to bring it on now. Now, believe it or not, this thing here. First and foremost, this is Moggy's. This isn't up to his usual standard of painting, is it?
I didn't paint that.
This is as he got it many years ago, and this, guys, believe it or not, is an Eldar wave serpent. It's so funny. It's armor cast. No, it's Forge World, isn't it? Forge World.
Forge World. That, yeah.
It's actual Forge World. It could easily be misconstrued as armor cast because of its age and the style that it's in, but it is indeed. If I flip it over, I'll flip it over there.
Oh, I broke it.
Oh no, I broke it. It actually says that Forge World Models Games Workshop 1995. But yeah, this boat here is a wave serpent. I just love it. It's so chunky and so you can clearly tell that this is from like the 90s.
It's based on the Epic thing, and they just rescaled them, didn't they, to the Epic?
Yeah, I think they did. But it's just I keep breaking it. It is magnetised somewhat, but the magnets are a little bit.
I didn't magnetise it either.
Did you not?
No, it was not me. I just scratched the paint off, see if I could get it to fit better. It didn't work.
You'll say anything, won't you, Moggy, to not tarnish your reputation? But yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't know where the crew would go. There's no, unless that little I don't know whether that's supposed to be a entry hatch there or some kind of thruster. I'm gonna say that's probably supposed to be an entry hatch, but
it could be an anus.
Yeah, it's a model with an anus. That's great. Yeah, so I just love it. It's literally a boat. It's an Eldar wave serpent. I wish I had an actual wave serpent to compare it to, because it's just so. It's so funny. I love it. I love it to bits. I love these old models. But anyway, but look, that's quite an interesting little find. We're gonna pop that over there to the side, and we're gonna bring in the next thing. The next thing we're gonna look at. We're gonna look at some models. Now, these next things are ones that I've never actually seen in the flesh. I knew they existed, but I've never actually seen them, and they are these little guys here. Now I'm just gonna do a little bit of a zoom in. Now. This guy looks like he should be in Judge Dredd, because he should be from Judge Dredd, essentially, because this was what would you reckon came first, Judge Dredd or the Arbites? This is an Arbiter, Arbite, how you want to say it.
When I was 13, you could buy Judge Dredd models in Games Workshop. So the one in Manchester I went to, you could buy Doctor Who, Judge Dredd.
So do you reckon Judge Dredd came before these, and these are modelled after?
Probably, yeah.
Judge Dredd. I mean, they're very. I mean, you've got the big shoulder pads. Obviously, it's GW, you know, and you've got like the Judge Dredd kind of mask. Now, I like I say, it's cool to see these. I've never. Do they have a date on them? I'm not actually sure. 19. 99, is that? Or 1992?
Let's have a look.
No, I think it's either 1992 or 1998, that is. It's a bit hard to make out, but... What do you think?
1992.
1992, so again, pretty old, and I'm fairly certain they probably fetch quite a high price. I've never seen these knocking about on eBay, really. And the really funny thing is, he's not just got one of these. He's only got a few more in regards to.
There's more upstairs, but
there's more upstairs. So there's one, and there's some more, and where's the oh, one more there as well. Look how many of them is. I mean, there's probably a couple of £100 worth of old school Arbitrates here, and another cool thing, they actually came with these guys here. Now these are the old little Mastiffs, and there's a few of these little Pupperinos right here, a few of these little Doges. They're quite nice. They're a little bit a little bit thin. I mean, they don't really look that menacing. I mean, it looks like you could probably, give them a bit of a kick or a bit of a smack with a good spanner and they just fall apart. But is that one of the newer ones?
No, that's from a different company.
That's something else.
It's based on that. Yeah, that's from. Is it Aluminium Miniatures?
I don't know, but this is like a new. I mean, you can see what this isn't GW, by the way, guys. This is something else. But you can see the level of engineering difference that's gone into to something like that. I mean, that looks far more menacing. That looks like it could really, really fuck you up. Whereas that kind of looks a little bit comical.
That's the new version of them.
Oh, nice. Oh, I didn't even know. So, we've got one of the old.
Well, sort of. They call them Forces.
Arbitrates, and there's one of the new ones. So height-wise, not that much different. They've gone a little. They've slimmed down a little bit. I mean, I like these. These are cool. These are for Necromunda, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty nice. I might use them for something actually. If I might get a little box of them. But again, you can see the difference. You can see how far it's come. And I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. I do like the new GW stuff. It's very clean. It's very nicely engineered. But they're soulless, in my opinion. Like these guys, you can tell were hand sculpted, and it's just got so much more character than these guys here. But that's just my 2 cents. I'm a real sucker for the old stuff. So moving on, we're going to pop him down there, and we'll move these guys to the side. I'll pop them back in their box in a second, and they can probably go back up into storage.
Back into the ether.
The next thing we're gonna look at is something else from Necromunda. And this is a bit of a weird one. I'm not going to be able to fully show this one off because it's in pieces. He said this one's quite rare. This is
I've actually got one in its original box as well, but
I think we looked at it on a previous. I think it was on the first Museum of Moggy. We looked at it perhaps, but this is was it the Rat King?
I think it's called a Rat King.
Necromunda Rat King, and it's weird because it doesn't look like it should be in 40k. It looks like it should be in fantasy, but I mean I mean, as old models go, this is quite diabolical. I mean, nothing really lines up. You would have to do a lot of work on this to get it to look good. We'll just do a little bit of a zoom in there because I really like his head. It's kind of like a zombie rat. I like it a lot. And obviously that's his body. He's got a dirty, great big zombie tail kind of thing. He's actually missing a leg. I couldn't find the other forearm for him.
It could just be a 3-leg.
A 3-leg. Maybe it fell off. It looks like a zombie rat. Maybe he just left it somewhere.
Box of doom somewhere.
But yeah, it's nice. And again, these old models, they were really when you had to put some work into making them fit and to actually building them. And I like that. Again, all the stuff nowadays is so well engineered, it just goes together with seamlessly. But part of the hobby aspect for me is making stuff like this fit. It's just nice to have a go with. So that's another one. So he's you don't see many of them knocking around, do you? Not at all.
Not at all, no.
So moving on, we're going to look at some fantasy stuff. Now these guys are from I think 40k had skulls, and I don't know what the fantasy version was, but these were like
they're still skulls, but
I think there were the reward system that GW used to do, and we got some lovely, lovely little characterful dwarfs right here, and they're all named as well, which is quite nice. And again, going back to the whole, these were hand sculpted. You can tell. I don't think these have a date on them, no, but they do have names. Although I can't quite. Yeah, that's obviously some kind of Slayer. There's this little chap here who's rocking the Thor winged helmet with his little dumpy little axe. Again, I can't quite make out the name of that one. Is that something? No, I can't read that. Go on, see if you. Moggy's got his. Moggy's got his reading spectacles on.
Reading spectacles. Something blood axe.
Something blood axe. That sounds very dwarven.
Borax blood axe. I don't know.
Borax, maybe. The Borax.
What's this one?
In my country, there is problem, and the problem is my ex. We got this little guy here. He looks like a bit of a swashbuckler kind of dwarf with his like weird. Doesn't look very dwarven with his weapons and stuff, but I like him. I like him a lot.
One says giant slayer.
Just a giant slayer. This guy, kill something. No, I can't. Moggy, you have to translate for that again. What was it? What's his name?
He is. Oh Jesus! He is Hill Summit Thief. No.
Hill
Chief.
Hill Chief.
Hill Summit Chief.
I don't. He doesn't look very dwarven anyway. This guy. This next little fellow here, I like him a lot because it's like, where's his body? He's like 90% head. He's got like no torso whatsoever. He's got like some
50% beard.
Yeah. No, I'd go as far as say 70% beard. I think he is. But he's really nice. He's got like some nice little details on him. He's got some cool little barrels. I think he's got bombs. They look like he's got bombs on there. He's thought. I can actually read this one. He's Thorbrin, the barrel bearer. I don't know. Next guy, there's one guy here which I really like. I'm saving him to the end. Where's he gone now? There he is. This guy, cool. He's kind of shouting with his sword. He actually looks a bit scared. Looks a bit terrified. I mean, if I were a dwarf and everything else is bigger than me, I'd be pretty scared as well. The only thing I wouldn't be scared of is maybe a goblin. He's pretty cool. Got his little hat on, little sword. Very Viking-esque, that sword, actually. It's quite nice. This little chap, he's 90% beard, this guy. Look at it, he's got so much beard, that's insane. His name is Uther, and that's like your stereotypical kind of dwarf. He's got his little mining pick there, he's got his little pointy helmet, really nice little spade. I mean, he's quite clearly some kind of miner. Next guy, we've got this dude here. This guy with his very, very fancy hat. He's loving that. Well, he's not actually loving that hat. He looks very cross actually. He looks a bit sad. Maybe his hat's too big. Maybe that's all he could afford. I don't know. Yeah, he's cool. And then my favourite one is this little dude here with his little kilt on and his little beanie, his little sword, and he's a lovely little chap as well. Actually, I read the other guy's name out. What's this guy called? This guy is Angus. He is Angus. He's mad. He's got a kilt and he's got his beanie and he's got his little cloak on right there, and he's just a charming little model. Really, really nice. It reminds me, I actually did the Kickstarter for Outsworn Dwarves years and years ago, and I've lost them all. And I paid top dollar for them, and they're probably sitting in a box somewhere, but the box was that tiny, I've probably lost it. But yeah, so those are cool. So they were available with oh, I just moved the fabric. They were available with the skulls thing, so you had to actually buy. You got like a loyalty stamp with these guys, and X amount of stamps got you X amount of miniatures, or you can send off for them. That's pretty cool. The next thing we're going to look at some more 40k related stuff, and it's again some more old things. And look at that. That's you would do yourself a damage if you drop that on you. This Armorcast?
That is Armorcast.
Yeah, this is actually Armorcast, and this is an Armorcast Baneblade, if you hadn't guessed it. I mean, there's not really that much difference apart from with this one and the new one. Apart from the new one's slightly bigger, it's got more detail on, but you could quite clearly field that nowadays as a Baneblade, and you'd get away with it. You know, no one would argue the toss whether or not that's a Baneblade or not. But really, I just love the old armor cast stuff. It's just like touching a piece of history, really. There's no mark on the bottom. It's on the inside. Oh, what an absolute shame. But I think we can take the thingy off. I think. Oh no, you can't see where it is. But well, you did this in 2014, didn't you?
I did.
So that's it's got a slightly more up to date paint job on it compared to that.
Oh, you broke it again.
Goddamn magnets, but nice. It's interesting because there's not a lot of surface detail, but on some of the the tracks are remarkably detailed, like that back track there and the actual track wheels. I'm sure they've got a proper name. Wheels that keep the tracks on.
That one's a drive cog.
Drive cog, yeah. They've got a lot of detail in there, but the surface of it isn't these big old rivets. I mean, in reality, those rivets would be like the size of a dinner plate, probably. It's bonkers. But yeah, really nice. You've got there's a little bit of, even back then, there's like a little bit of articulation with the little las cannon turret and the main turret here. Does this little one move? No, that one's fixed in place. But again, really nice little to see the old models with like a more up to date paint job on. Really, really cool. And it's just they go for so much now. The armor cast models, don't they? Like I think I was looking at like an armor cast Warhound, and they're as much as like the actual Warhound. It's crazy. You've actually got some armor casts. I think I've shown those. That the one. Do you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go in.
Mess.
Moggy's mess. So there's actually an armor cast Phantom right there sitting in the corner amongst the debris, and that's a beautiful thing. With an updated paint job, I think they still are easily fieldable on the tabletop. So we're going to move that back there. Oh, I can get it in the hole. Right, we're going to move. That's what she said. That's what she said. We're going to move that to one side. Thanks, Moggy. And we're going to look at some stuff now. And I'm afraid I'm going to get poisoning from these, because these guys are very, very old. These are original Fantasy Famir models, and there's quite a few. I used some blue tack to stick some of the heads back on, but these are, oh wow, there's those little bits there, the little tails and heads. 100% lead. Don't put it in your mouth or you're gonna die. But yeah, these are quite fascinating to look at as well. I mean, they're very. What era are these? Do you reckon? Are these 90s or are they early 80s? Do you reckon?
Might be early 90s. I'm not sure. Can't even remember.
They've got that old kind of bow-legged style kind of going on, but again, absolutely charming to look at. Oh, he's just got a hole where his butt is.
That's where his tail
goes. He's just got a really. It looked like he had like a really big prolapsed anus there or something. But yeah, so these guys.
Think about prolapsed anus.
I don't know. Just there's something just interesting about saying the word prolapse, because it just conjures up horrendous images in your mind's eye. Yeah, so there's that guy there. I don't think I've got the right heads on, but I just thought I'd put blue tack the heads on just for the sake of it. And then there's like this guy here. He's like a sage or some kind of spellcaster. It's really cool. And there's actually two of those guys here. And oh, I can feel the lead. I can feel the lead permeating my skin. And there's like this guy here. This guy's really thin. This guy needs to eat some cheeseburgers or something. But one of the cool things that we actually have, a really interesting comparison now, because Moggy dug out this again. This is again something that's quite. You can't get these. Can you still get these?
Well, I think you can still get them from Warhammer World. But...
So this Warhammer World. Oh, it is new. Age of Sigmar, it says. So that's relatively new in the past like couple of years. But it's just interesting to see the difference. I mean, there's not. I mean, you could still tell that these are Famir. Or female? Oh, I don't know how you pronounce it, but we're going to call it Famir for now. You can tell...
That's like a Primark for me. Primark
yeah.
For me.
It's a bit difficult to see because that base... Oh, there we go. That base is in the way. But you can tell that there's... Obviously, the detail on them is much more better because it's Forge World, obviously. And they've scaled it up slightly, but you could still field these now, and they'd still be Famir. And yeah, just interesting to see the old versus the new. I quite like that comparison. That's really good. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. What we have for these for the Museum of Moggy this time. It's been a bit of a shot. I think last time I rambled on for about half an hour, 45 minutes.
We'll have to dive into the delves of again. So, yeah.
Oh no! I hope we can get a Museum of Moggy 4 on the go. It really is. It's so wonderful to see some of this old stuff because, unless you go to like, I mean, they don't even have the old stuff on display in Warhammer World, do they?
No, I've got other Eldar. I've got other armor cast stuff. There's an Eldar two-legged Titan. There's an armor cast Scorpion. There's all the old armor cast Eldar skimmers they used to have. I've got all them.
Oh wow! We'll have to look. I think I looked at one. Oh no, it was the Tyranid stuff. That old Exocrine.
Yeah, I've got more Tyranid stuff up there.
But yeah, next time we'll dig some more stuff out and we'll show some more. But this has been an absolutely fantastic trip down memory lane. And thanks, Moggy. Thanks for having me around and letting me pour through your old collection of stuff.
The old dusty.
Yeah, oh, the old dusties, and I also brought my airbrush round for a service as well because it was fucked basically. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, favourite, and subscribe. In fact, guys, tell me in the comments in the doobly-doo down below what's the oldest and rarest thing in your collection. I'd be really interested to know that. But with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the Facebook group. Don't forget to check out the Instagram, which is in the link in the doobly-doo down below. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys again. See you now, and
bye.
goodbye. Say bye, Moggy.
Bye, Moggy.